Hey, I'm Rebecca. Today I want to talk about adding a fabric back to your crocheted blanket. And I'm going to tell you why I decided to add fabric to the back of a crochet blanket, the fabric I chose, the method I used, and some pros and cons of doing it this way, as well as what not to do. Because believe me, I did all of the things that I should not have done to achieve the final product, but I'm happy with how it turned out. I can't wait to show you what we've got going on. Initially, I told myself I was going to plan out this project. So I took all of my scrap yarns, gathered it together. I cut little strips because I wanted to lay them out and decide what order I wanted the colors to be in the blanket. I was doing a linen square blanket from TL Yarncrafts. She had done hers as a temperature blanket. I'm just trying to use up all my scraps. I did not end up using this process. This is unnecessary. Just grab some yarn and make a blanket. That's all you gotta do. Then I spent a lot of time crocheting. All of this yarn is worsted weight. I used a 4.5, 5 millimeter crochet hook, I think, because I wanted the blanket to be heavy and dense. I'm making this as a birthday present for my daughter. I didn't actually make her a baby blanket when she was born. We were given so many. Making one myself for her, it felt extra, like it felt like too much. Anyways, her birthday was coming up, and so I decided to make this blanket for her. She's always cold. I wanted it to be thick. I wanted it to be warm. So I'm using worsted weight. I really don't remember if this is my 5 millimeter crochet hook or my 4.5 millimeter. Either way, I wanted those dense stitches. I ended up using almost all of my scrap yarn for this project. Each square I used one main color, which every other row was in my main color, and I picked anywhere from 3 to 5 extra colors. Now, I changed colors every row in these squares, which, as you know, means I will have an obnoxious amount of ends to deal with. I went into this project fully planning to add a fabric back, so I was not really super careful about hiding my ends because I knew I was going to completely cover the back with fabric. So if that's where we're going with this project, you're with me, you're adding fabric to the back, don't care about your ends, we'll deal with that later. After finishing all my squares, I just tied the ends in knots, like basic knots, all of the ends, and I glued them all down with permanent bond washable fabric glue. Oh, what happened?
Look.
Uh-oh. Did your straps break?
No, they didn't.
This glue is flexible, so it won't crack and break up and fall apart if you use the blanket frequently. And since I'm putting this glue on a spot that's going to be covered by my fabric, I'm not worried about the texture that it creates for the blanket. This glue is also intended to be washed. Like, you should be able to put this through the washing machine without worrying about it breaking down. I have not thoroughly tested this, but the product has good reviews, so I am trusting everybody else who tested this. It should work. It should be great. I spent ample time selecting the layout, seaming all my squares together, and then it was time to move on to the challenging task of adding fabric to the back of this blanket. I chose this fabric because it was soft and on clearance at our local craft store. However, I did not take into consideration the fact that this was a knit, so it was extremely stretchy, which was a huge mistake. Please choose a fabric that is not stretchy, because sewing a stretchy fabric onto the stretchy, it was chaos. It was so chaos. While I did actually pin the fabric into place, I found that the pins were absolutely worthless, and I should have used a basting adhesive like quilters use. I know this now, and I will do this in future projects. The stretchy fabric on the stretchy crochet, it was so hard. I used a zigzag seam. I did not hem the fabric because it's a knit. I knew the zigzag seam would be enough. It didn't fray, it didn't unravel, so this was sufficient. To further prevent the pita pocket effect that I was having with the 15-inch squares, I sewed straight channels every 3 inches or so down the blanket. It was random. I made a mess. There are no straight lines in this project. It was a learning experience. I learned a lot. I'm really glad you came by for this kind of chaotic project that I did. I hope to keep adding more videos as I go through. I'm just making them as I feel like it right now. It's been just craziness here around the house, and just trying to catch up with everything has been a lot. I'm very thankful for everyone who has watched my videos, who subscribes, likes my content, and I hope that you will be back for my next video. That I don't know what I'm doing or when I'm doing it, but it will be hopefully soon. I will try to be consistent. I do post on TikTok fairly consistently, more or less a couple times a week. If you want to see some more in the process type things, I guess I should post those on shorts here. I'll try to remember to do that. Anyways, have a great week, and thank you for stopping by.